Hello everyone. So it's back me again. I've came up with this crappy idea or interesting idea we call it. What I call it as APOD, which stands for Agent Panel on Demand. So as you know that these days we are using a lot of generative AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, as much as you can name it. Okay. So I have this concept while I'm doing something, can I actually get different chats to debate among themselves? Okay. So if I could at any one time, gather a panel of agents on demand, I could actually have them to work on very interesting things because they can be talking among themselves. And what I'm doing is I'm actually acting as a moderator. Okay. So think about it as a panel discussion, just that the panel is example on demand and is are all AI tools or AI agents. Okay. So I just start up this project today and did something about it, and I'll show you what's happening. So let's go to it. Okay, it's very command line based, so I call this as APOD. And essentially, I will use Python to run it. Okay, okay. So get it smaller so you can see it. Okay, so now the version which later I'm going to release as of today called 0 is release 0.1.0 Cashew Nut Butter. Okay. And it requires a API key. So you have to register in um, open router for it. Okay, so let's enter a topic of discussion. For example, now we say that we are looking at statistics. Okay, one of my favorite topic. Okay. And here we have a set of agents. So these agents, for example, ESON, EDA, and so on and so forth, what are they? So let's go to here. I have a persona file. Okay, let me just pull it up. This in this. So the persona file actually is essentially a initialization file. So ESON EDA is actually looking at data detective sharp eye for patterns, essentially doing exploratory data analysis. Okay, and talk about the rest of it. So there are different personas. Okay, over time, I hopefully can develop new personas and just keep adding on to it. Okay. While we are at it, so let's us just pick some personas. We want to pick Ethan, and we want to talk about some statistics. So let's try um, performance, and then let's try, for example, visionary. So we pick three agents. Okay. So my panel is a panel of three plus myself. Okay. So how many times must this panel run? So it's a kind of looping system. So let's say it runs four loops for now. Okay. Do I want to join as moderator? Yes, I want to join moderator. So automatically it gets Ethan to think. Okay? So Ethan goes and say that statistics is a data analysis language, can transform the use. Then ask me for my guidance. So as a moderator. Okay. So maybe I can say that, okay, um, what are, okay, say in your views, what are the crucial statistical methods needed by a biologist. And automatically you'll go to the next one, which is battery performance. Okay. So continue discussion. Yes. And now battery performance is thinking. Okay. And then it tells me something. Okay. Tells me that performance for optimization, okay, audit threading. So this talks about um, some computation. Okay, so talking about high performance computation. So continue workflow. And now Victor Visionary is thinking, okay, what if biologists want to harness the quantum computing? Okay, so let me talk about discussion. Then Eason goes back to Eason. Okay. So now we have completed four rounds. Let's say we want to continue. Okay, how many more turns? Let's do another four loops. Okay. So come back, moderator, it comes in again. So now Isan is thinking, okay, on his own stuff. Okay, so what do I do? Okay. So um, but what tools are available? This is available. Okay. Let's continue the discussion. And Patrick is thinking. Hmm. Parlor flags. Okay, talks about something not quite relevant. Different tools that because Patrick performance, his goal is how to get computational system to run faster. Okay. So this may not be his topic. But let's try. Okay, we push a bundle of software um, optimization, compilers. That's not very good. Let's continue. Well, maybe in this case, Ethan is the one that's really doing the work. Okay. So do I want to continue? Let's say I want to stop. Okay. And then that's it. What happens is the file actually comes into the chat log. So you can open up and see the entire chat history that we had. Okay. So this itself, maybe in future, we could actually use for um, refine the agent prompts and so on. Okay. So yeah, seems like at least a very rudimentary version of, randomly assembling a panel of, experts, agent, and looking at just discussing. Actually, it can be quite interesting. Maybe there could be something worth continuing. Okay, that's all. Just for the fun of it. Okay, see you. Bye bye. Oops, I do. Stop.